What is prenatal diagnosis? It is the detection of abnormalities in fetus before birth. So what is the goal or purpose of doing this? First, it is to inform prospective parents regarding the risk of birth defect or genetic disorder in their pregnancy and to provide them with the informed choices on how to manage that risk.
Assalamualaikum, Nana.
Waalaikumsalam. Hi, Tina.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm feeling very tired and got restless today.
This is your first pregnancy, right?
No, this is my third pregnancy. Because before that, I'm having few miscarriage.
Yeah, I think you should go for prenatal diagnosis.
Oh, is it? Is there any reason?
Because I read it somewhere you have several miscarriage before. You should go for prenatal diagnosis. Actually, there are a few other reasons, and one of it includes
Indications. There are few indications on doing the prenatal diagnosis. First, she must be in advanced maternal age, which means the age is greater than 35 years old. Second, she had a previous child with a chromosome abnormality. Third, she has the family history of a chromosome abnormality. The fourth, there are presence of a structural chromosome abnormality in one of the parents. And lastly, she has other high risk factors such as recurrent or unexplained miscarriage.
my friend said she had already suffered from several miscarriage, and I read it somewhere that it is necessary to do prenatal diagnosis.
Okay, prenatal diagnosis. So, are you sure you want to do it prenatal diagnosis? Because as far as I'm concerned, there is an advantage and disadvantage of prenatal diagnosis. So, I will explain to you in detail about advantage and disadvantage of prenatal diagnosis, and then you can decide whether you want to do it or you don't want to.
Next, we proceed with the advantages. The advantages of prenatal diagnosis in cytogenetic. There are a lot of advantages. With the first one is it can improve the safety of invasive procedures. Next, it can enable an earlier and more reliable diagnosis of congenital malformations, which means that we can manage the remaining weeks of the pregnancy after gaining some information about the embryo of fetus condition. The third one, we can decide whether to continue the pregnancy or not after gaining the information about the embryo. Next, we can determine whether the outcome of the pregnancy is good or bad. After that, we can plan for the possible complications with the birth process. And also, we can plan for the problems that might be occur in the newborn infant. Last but not least, we can find the conditions that may affect the future pregnancy. So done with the advantages, we proceed with the disadvantages of prenatal diagnosis. There are pros and cons of having this diagnosis. The first disadvantages is about mosaicism. Mosaicism cannot be detected. It is because the neonate or the newborn may have same number of chromosomes. As we know that a mosaic can only be detected if chromosomally aberrant cells are present in the examined specimen. So the second disadvantages is related to the structural chromosomally abnormalities cannot be detected. It is due to the size of chromosome, which is smaller than achievable optical resolution. So that's why we cannot detect any structural abnormalities. The third one is the result produced can be either false positive or false negative. The fourth disadvantage is the pregnancy woman would be having miscarriage. It is due to the invasive process during the sample withdrawing, such as amniocentesis or chorionic villus sampling. And it also can cause fetal damage. The reason why because it includes the invasive procedures such as amniocentesis or chorionic sampling that can cause fetal to the fetus. Next, the cost prenatal testing is very expensive. It is high cost. Thereby, it cannot be attempted by people with the meager means. The last disadvantage is related to the religious issue. Different religions also have this belief that only God has the right to take away life and cannot be a human decision.
However, there are several types on how to conduct the prenatal diagnosis.
So next, we proceed with the methodology on how to conduct the prenatal diagnosis. The methods can be divided into two categories, which the first one is known as conventional method, and the second one is molecular diagnostic method. So we proceed with the first aspect, which is conventional method. In this conventional method, it is having a non-invasive technique, which the first one we can do the fetal visualization by using the ultrasound or fetal echocardiography or magnetic resonance imaging, or known as a MRI. So next, we can use neural tube defects technique by measure the maternal serum alpha fetoprotein, or known as MSAFP. Next, we can do the fetal Down syndrome technique. In this technique, we also can measure the MSAFP. We can measure the maternal unconjugated estrol and also measure the inhibin. So next, we proceed with the invasive technique. In this invasive technique, we do the fetal visualization by using embryoscopy or fetoscopy. And the next technique is called invasive fetal tissue sampling. In this technique, we can use amniocentesis or chorionic villus sampling, or known as CVS, or chordosynthesis, and also percutaneous skin biopsy. The third one is in vitro fertilization technique. We can use pre-implantation biopsy from the blastocyst. Next, we proceed with the second aspect, which is molecular diagnostic method. In this method, they are divided into the invasive technique. So in this invasive technique, they are having the detection of chromosomal aberration by using fish technique or restriction fragment length polymorphism. They are also having a slightly invasive technique, which we can use cell-free DNA and also pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. The other technique, we can use the secretion of fetal cells from the mother's blood and also the assessment of fetal specific DNA methylation ratio. So, some of the samples from the previous methodology or techniques, actually it can proceed to the other aspect or process. So, what are the process? It can lead to the process of karyotyping. So, it is the whole process.
Are you sure you want to do this prenatal diagnosis?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so you can come with me to take the samples.
So what kind of sample that we can get? There are a few types of sample that we can get from the mother. The first one is the maternal serum or the mother's bite. And next we can get from the ultrasound technique by nuchal translucency, or also we can get from the chorionic villus cells and also from the amniotic fluid. And last but not least, they also can get the sample from the percutaneous umbilical blood.
Miss,
Hey, doctor.
okay, this is the sample of patient for prenatal diagnosis.
Okay, I conduct several testing for the sample.
Okay,
Doctor.
thank you. your result. So it show positive result. So you can proceed with your pregnancy.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
So that's all from us. Thank you for watching and listening this video. And I hope with that you understand more about the prenatal diagnosis.